The storm had swallowed the horizon by the time Ethan Cole saw her. Wind tore across the plains, dragging sand and ice like knives. The sky was dark, restless, and thunder rolled low, warning anyone foolish enough to be outside. Ethan pulled his coat tighter, his jaw clenched. No sane man would be out here. But Ethan Cole had never been known for choosing easy. Then, through the chaos, he saw movement. At first, he thought it was a trick of the storm. But it wasn't. A small figure struggled against the wind. His heart skipped. "Easy," he muttered to his horse, steering closer. The shape became clearer. A woman, stumbling, dress torn and soaked, hair plastered to her face. One wrong step, and she could vanish forever. Ethan didn't hesitate. He jumped down and rushed toward her. "Hey, can you hear me?" She turned, eyes wide with fear. Her knees buckled, and he caught her just in time. "Easy. I got you," he said firmly. Her hands were ice cold, her breath weak. "Please don't leave me," she whispered. "I'm not going anywhere," he replied, lifting her onto his horse and holding her steady. The cabin appeared just as the storm peaked. Ethan carried her inside, warmth barely touching her chilled body. He laid her gently on the bed, stoked the fire, and wrapped her in a blanket. "Stay with me," he muttered. She didn't respond at first, but after sipping water, her eyes fluttered open. Fear lingered, but she recognized him. "It's okay, you're safe," he assured her. "What's your name?" he asked. "Clara," she whispered. "I'm Ethan," he said. Silence fell, broken only by the crackling fire. Clara's gaze drifted toward the window. "They all left me," she said. Ethan frowned. "Who?" "My husband and the men he was traveling with," she admitted, voice trembling. Ethan's jaw tightened. "They left you to die?" Clara nodded. "I was a mail-order bride. I came for a man I had never met. I thought I was starting a new life." She paused, hands clutching the blanket. "But the storm came. I slowed them down. He said I wasn't worth the risk." Ethan's expression darkened. "Not happening," he said firmly. For the first time, Clara felt a flicker of hope. Ethan stayed awake all night, checking on her and feeding the fire, ensuring she survived the storm. By morning, the sky cleared. Clara was alive. Days passed, and she grew stronger. At first, she barely spoke, afraid the ground might vanish beneath her feet. Ethan was patient, helping her quietly. He brought food, tended the fire, and let her rest. Slowly, she began to trust him. "You live out here alone?" she asked one evening. "Been that way for a while," he replied. "Why?" she asked. "Sometimes it's easier that way," he shrugged. She studied him, sensing deeper pain, but didn't press. Not yet. One afternoon, Clara stepped outside. The storm had passed, leaving a calm, endless landscape. "It's beautiful," she whispered. "Yeah, it can be," Ethan replied. Something shifted between them. Weeks passed. Clara found her place, helping around the cabin, cooking, and smiling more often. The fear in her eyes faded. One evening she confessed, "I can't stay forever." Ethan simply nodded. "I was supposed to have a life, a home, a future." "You still can," Ethan replied. "Where?" she asked. He didn't answer, because for the first time, he didn't want her to leave. The next morning, Ethan saddled his horse. Clara asked, "What are you doing?" "Going to town," he replied. "Why?" she pressed. "Because what happened to you isn't right," he said. She worried for his safety, but Ethan shook his head. "I can't let it go." She stepped closer, whispering, "Then come back." "I will," he promised, and rode off. In town, he found the men, careless, arrogant, unconcerned. "Where is she?" Ethan demanded. "Probably dead by now," they sneered. "She's alive," Ethan said. That was all they needed to know. By the time he returned, the sun was setting. Clara waited outside, relief flooding her face. "You came back," she said. "I told you I would," he replied. "Is it over?" she asked. "It's over," he nodded. She stepped closer, whispering, "I don't have anywhere else to go." Ethan's heart pounded. "You don't have to," he said. Her eyes filled with something stronger than fear. The storm had nearly taken her life, but instead, it led her exactly where she was meant to be, safe, remembered, and finally, home.